So it turns out I was just vlogging in like time-lapse mode, so that didn't work. We are currently longboarding. It's night. We've got the lights on. It's very dark. It's not as dark as you can obviously see, but it's quite dark. I didn't realise it was not summer anymore, to be honest. It's actually too dark to vlog, to be honest with you. This is like actual nighttime. Well, I mean, it's not. Obviously, in winter it gets way darker than this, but like, there is nothing. You can't see shit. Battery watch on the way back. We're on about 30–40% with some uphill to go though. We've got uphill, which usually means battery is bad. So, but I'm going to go through some dark areas where I'm going to need some speed. So this is a real like balance between battery getting there and getting back, but also having enough fast mode in areas where I might want to go quicker. You know what I mean? On the way down I went really slow, like basically almost rolled in, because I knew people would want to go on my longboard, and I'd like end up showing it off a little bit, which means going into the fast modes, draining the battery. So I was really like safe with it on the way down. So I've got more than I normally do at this point, which is good. But yeah, like I say, I'm picking the points where I can go fast and slow. Where have I been though? That's the question. I met my team today for the first time ever. So that's not technically true, but since working at the job, it's the first time I've met everyone. We met just after the interviews, officially. Yeah, so I'm walking it up here like I normally do, but there's like a big old expanse of grass which is just pitch black. So it's in fast mode. It'll be fine, like, you know what I mean, but just in case, you never know. When you need to make a hasty getaway, I don't want to have to change out of eco. Back, no problems on any fronts. Yeah, obviously since we joined in like March, we've been in lockdown, so we've never met in person. I've met the guys, the developers, but I've never met Amy, the Scrum Master. And we were organising this thing. Technically it was supposed to be last week, and then we invited like a bigger group of people. Some people were going to come from London. They couldn't do last week, so they moved it to this week. They couldn't do this week, so they moved it to next week. Boris Johnson's cancelled a load of shit, so we can't do it next week. We were like, we're just going to do it this week with just us guys. And I was organising it, quote, organising it, because I didn't really do any organising. And then like it was threatened to, like obviously it's coronavirus stuff, so you're trying to figure out what people are comfortable with, you know, and kind of go to the most strict and then kind of follow that, so that that person doesn't feel like, you know what I mean, that they're doing something they don't want to do. And there was a lot of like pressure. Then it's threatened to rain, and I was like, guys, what do we want to do? Because we're doing like a picnicky bit outside where we're just gonna have some drinks in a park. And then we went to a pub, but we always went, it was fine. It was all fine. I stressed out for nothing. Like I say, I was a little bit nervous about going. I actually really didn't want to go this morning. I was like, oh God, no. Just because like, it's obviously easier not to. But I longboarded, obviously. I think like if I'd have had to get on a bus or an Uber or something like that, it would have been a lot worse because of like the extra friction involved in doing that, rather than like longboarding where I'm in control of my own destiny. You know what I mean? If I wanted to leave, I could leave at any point. Whereas if I was getting a bus, it's a little bit less awkward or whatever. But yeah, it was really good. They're a really cool like bunch. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. I kind of expected it to be a bit, because obviously Teams video is completely different to reality. They are all exactly who I thought they were. But in the cases where that doesn't match me, it's not too bad. You know? Where I thought it would be bad, because like Teams is like just that. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm definitely the one that causes the most aggro. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, work was a standard day, trying to fix a bug. Got a really bizarre serialization issue we need to solve. Don't really know how or why it's happening, but I'll figure it out. And yeah, that's that, really. It's a weird thing where one enum is strings, but the others are all numbers. And yeah, and it's all NUG packages, so I can't like selectively say, hey, that one there, do a different rule for. It's not ideal, really, to be honest. But anyway, that's by the way. Otherwise, yeah, watch Formula 1. Laura is in Nottingham right now. It's just me. I've got the house to myself all weekend. Lad's day in. But I am going to have a drink, have a cup of tea. I'm just going to chill out. I feel like a headache could be coming because I've been like talking. I feel like my throat is, it's obviously loud in a pub. and it's loud talking to people spread apart, you know? Even someone with like a bellowy voice like me, my voice carries, but I feel like it doesn't, so I probably talk louder than I should. I'm rabbiting on. Right, I've settled down, I've had my little drink, Monty's poop's been scooped. When I scoop his poop, I put him in the living room because what he'll do, as you're scooping, he will get in the thing and then just wee, which is really annoying. And then also I've got to put the thing in the bin outside, which means it's just easier. But then I close him in there and I swear he's convinced that this door locks him out. So whenever you do that, he then just like spends about 15 minutes fighting the door when he gets out, like, fucking door. Just look, do you see that, Jamie? He's just fucking locking me in. This door is victimising me. That's what goes on in his little noggin, I reckon. See? Otherwise, your man Dem is gonna chill out for a little bit. On Monty, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put some Jimmers on, have a cup of tea. This is the thing, it's like, what do I do with myself? I don't know what to do with myself, quite frankly. I might play with the cat for a bit. I'm gonna put some pyjamas on. My feet ache. Like sitting on, and my legs ache as well, sitting on like the grass in a field, in a park. Oh my God, my legs are not built for that shit. Jesus Christ. I'm the lanky one. Oh God, my spindly ass legs. I am the tallest. We said previously, like, it's so weird not knowing anything about what each other look like, effectively. But they all bet that I might be the tallest because, like, my arms take up the whole frame. But yeah, I reckon the one person might be taller than me, but he's in, like, London most of the time, I think. So anyway, let's settle down for bed, Monty. It is nearly 10. So have a cup of tea, get dressed, watch an episode of show most probably, and then it's bedtime. Yeah, agreed? Okay, Jamie. Now, you don't need alarm clocks when you've got Monty around. 7 o'clock on the dot. He is climbing his way into the bed, just purring up a storm. He gets in and he, like, wherever you stick out, he finds that injury. He wants to know where the rest of you is. So he, like, goes underneath and then just kind of does laps. He'll come out the bottom where your feet are, then come back up, scratch your arm a little bit as he tries to dig down. Pain in the ass, aren't you, Monty? Move. But you're just a hungry boy. Yes. Oh. Be careful on the stairs, Monty. We don't play on the stairs, do we? Nope. Well, I didn't get to sleep last night till, like, at least gone midnight. At the very least. I ended up having to put, like, a podcast on to try and get to sleep. I think I didn't make it through to the end of it, but I did that thing where I put it on, like, a 5-minute timer. And then I was like, oh, that's on, like, 30 minutes. 30 seconds. I listened to all of it. God damn. So I actually didn't get to sleep till really late. And now I don't know what to do with myself, because I'm like, there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to clean up, tidy up. I need to de-flea Monty, which is going to be fun on my own. That's going to be an absolute hoot. At some point I want to do the clean up and whatnot. At some point I want to try and fix the doorbell. Monty, will you calm yourself down? Oh, I need to open the bloody... I need to figure out how to do it because the screwdriver we've got isn't good enough to unscrew the screws. They're very tight. What else do I need to do? Monty, move. There was more. Oh, Formula 1 is on. So we've got Formula 1. I want to play some Satisfactory. And then I need to do the doorbell and clean up. That's not even a lot, really, let's be honest. But it's like, it's weird being on your own because you're like, it feels really quiet, but I feel bad like just filling the sound with like YouTube videos and whatnot, because then I end up watching the YouTube video. Anyway, I need to have a shave. Have a shave, get dressed, and then I'm going to watch FP3 while playing Satisfactory. Sounds like a plan, and then it'll be about lunchtime, and we can figure out what we're doing from there. I've just been wrapping presents. And I've only got this little bit left, and I'm trying and failing to put this back in such a way where... Oh yeah, that's it. That way no one will ever know I've wrapped anything till they check. They have no reason to check, do they, Monty? It didn't last very long. I was just coming back in here to check what it was I was checking the camera to see what it was I last vlogged. I haven't got a mug or anything there, and I just thought, I'll check to see if it worked. It's not. Monty's probably messed about with it. Who knows? I am pulling myself away from Satisfactory because I'm addicted. Coming downstairs, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. have a little cuddle with Monty while we watch a little bit of TV, and then maybe go to bed. I think yesterday I made the mistake of like going to bed too... Oh, I need to set some bacon out as well. Oh yeah, breakfast. I made the mistake of like not really going to bed properly, I guess, because of, you know. Wait 1 sec. Can I close this freezer? You'll get cold if I put you in there. Can I please? Thank you. Yeah, just kind of like queued YouTube videos and stuff, and then didn't go to bed until too late, and then couldn't get to sleep and whatnot. So I'm just going to try and like go to bed at a semi-reasonable time instead of like playing on the computer or whatever. But I'm so close to finishing this project. All I'm doing, bizarrely, is like dealing with the when you do refineries in Satisfactory, you have what you're building. Normally you've just got what you build and you turn it into what you want. But when you've got refineries, there's like side effect products, I guess. I don't know what they're called. There's a word for that. What's the word for that? Where it's like, you want one thing, but you get something else as well as like a byproduct. It's like byproducts as well. And I'm like building all of the stuff to deal with the byproduct. Because I want plastic and rubber, but you can turn the byproduct of that into power, into fuel. So I'm like trying to do as much of that as possible. And then, but the problem with fuel is if you don't use enough fuel, you need to be able to like, the problem with these things, so it's basically, if you've never played Satisfactory, it's like it's basically just a maths game. You just like deal with a load of factories and stuff, make it all efficient, it's great. The problem with refineries is that you have to deal with the byproduct and the real product at the same time. So I'm going to be, the plastic and rubber is fine, that's going to be going into my next factory thing. But the byproduct needs to be disposed of. So if you turn it into fuel, then I'm disposing of the byproduct, but now I've got fuel, and the problem with fuel is if you're not using all of the power, the fuel will back up, and then it will stop being able to process the byproduct, and then it'll stop generating rubber and plastic. So it's like a really interesting thing, like how do you stop that happening? It's really good fun. Genuinely, really recommend it to anyone who's interested in that kind of shit. Mr. Monty, you want some cuds, don't you? Don't you? You haven't got two of us to give you cuds, and I've been playing games. I'm so sorry. I think I may watch The Boys. I don't think Laura likes The Boys, so I think I might watch it because I think it's fucking great. Watch The Boy. I've watched so many episodes of Shameless, Monty. It's unreal. Unreal. Isn't it? Isn't it? My little boy. Look at this little guy. Look at this. He also kept going to sleep, but the GoPro beeps and that woke him up, so apologies for that, Monty. Oh. He knows it's being watched now, doesn't he? That's the thing. Look at this. This 7 o'clock every day. On the dot. Oh god. Anyway. Oh, go get you some food, Monty. Monty's been going absolutely batty. I've been doing all the cleaning and stuff. I've sorted the washing out, cleaned kitchen, bathroom and hoovered. And I've been trying to fix the doorbell. Now, yeah, so the box that we've got that supposedly like transforms the voltages is too heavy. And the problem we've got is like the power cable is here and it's old. And the new cable is, the other cable is there. We have to extend it around because everything's moved about basically. But the box is too heavy to like take the weight of the wires, so I can't test whether or not it works. And that's doing my nutting. Anyway, so I've had to bail on that, which is annoying. I'm just making myself a cup of tea. I'm gonna go play a game for at least an hour before Formula 1. But anyway, Monty's going absolutely crazy, like bolting around, like trying to play with me. And he just like runs and runs and runs and then sits in the corner. He's like a dog, just like... I've never seen a cat like pant before, but he's just like in the corner going... because he's just like absolutely fucking running around like a nutcase. I'm on the phone to Dad and he just comes up between my legs and just like fucking bites my ankle. That shit. He's getting old. He's getting a bit boisterous, aren't you? But now look, butter wouldn't fucking melt. Look at him. Butter would not melt. He's going to sleep. He's annoyed that I've woken him up. What's annoying is every time like you talk for more than a minute, the back screen turns off. So I turn it around to point it at things like Monty, like that. No idea whether or not it's in frame. Just guessing, really. It's a design flaw. I wonder if I could damp the back and it might turn it back on again. I assume it would, but it's obviously turned it off for like battery saving purposes. I don't normally notice because obviously my hand is, I'm in front of the camera instead of behind it. Don't really know why I still do this vlogging thing, to be honest with you, because I haven't uploaded a video in like fucking 4 months. But that's life. Anyway, let's go. Next door neighbour called, wanted some shopping in, so messed up my Satisfactory plans, isn't it, Monty? Yeah, so I've got like 45 minutes, let's say now, instead of an hour and a half. Oh dear, I had to go back as well. Every now and again she asks for something, you don't know what it is. Like, well, no, this time chicken thighs. Obviously I know what chicken thighs are, but she put like £2. Both of the £2 chicken thighs, one's raw and one's unraw, like cooked. So I like called her. She never answers the phone when I call her. I assume it's on silent or something. I don't know. Or she just doesn't answer the phone. One of the two. So I came back and I had to go again. God damn it. Anyway, yeah. So we've got about 45 minutes until Formula 1 build up, and then we can start doing sandwiches. Sounds like a plan. Monty's been really cuddly recently. Like he just like sits on my lap and just gets little cuddles. Oh. That was a cracking race as well. I'm just going to close the door because Laura's asleep. But relatively bad news. Laura came back and she was struggling to get into a parking space. It was a bit small. So I like went out to go and help her park. And as I went out, I started running. I just jogged down the road and my phone fell out of my pocket. Sometimes. Thankfully, the screen is still perfecto. But like the back, to be fair, it's like kind of tidied up a little bit. To be fair to it, the back has got like some nicks on this corner here. There's like a little nick up there as well. From the front, you can just about see like a little bit at the top. Because obviously it's a plastic phone, so it scuffs up quite bad. But the problem is, with a phone that isn't out yet in the UK, you can't buy a case. I've bought a case. It's just not been released yet, so I can't get it until it's released. Pain in the ass. Otherwise, I finished my factory and then realised that it's not going to work because I'm generating a shitload of fuel, basically, and I can't burn that fuel fast enough. And I was going to convert that fuel into something else so I could bin it, but you don't do that to the fuel, you do that to the, what's it called? You do that to the heavy oil. So my choices are either find an alternate recipe that lets me convert the fuel into something that can be disposed of, or I can, in theory, tap off the purple heavy liquid thing earlier. But I feel like that's a little bit more, well, it's not, but it's going to be a lot harder, let's put it that way. Sad times is what it is. It's sad times. I was gutted when I realised the fuel, because you only burn as much fuel as you need to power your factories, and I've got a huge headroom now because I'm generating a load of fuel by accident. So I'm using, and I've still got coal factories. So all of the coal generators are still going. I'm at 20-30% capacity. So I'm actually using something like 20-30% of the fuel, maybe even less than that, because I've got geothermal as well, and that gets used first. So all the fuel was going through an overflow thing to be converted into, I don't know, something, can't remember what, but I can't do that. The problem is you can't dispose of liquids. You have to convert them to something solid. I could, in theory, no, I can't. I was going to say I could
convert it, just like bin packaged fuel, which I do have. But then I need to generate the packages sometimes. And I wouldn't know how to do the maths of that because I'd need a undetermined number of empty packages. It's not going to work. But anyway, that's by the by. Time for bed. In the middle of the night last night, carbon monoxide sensor went off. It's done it before where it just goes off for like literally 4 beeps and then just stops. Almost like a low battery beep, but it's not, it's brand new. That's why we bought a second one, to like confirm that it's not got a fault on it or something. I don't know what to do. I've looked online, apparently it can be to do with like, if the temperature drops for like the first time in a while, then it like kind of has to recalibrate. Maybe it's that. It's going to be an interesting week this week. It's, well, there's only 2 of us today out of the team, because someone else has gone on a 3-week hackathon thing. I felt like I was spinning a lot of plates. We've deployed to prod for something that's been sitting on the board for a long time, so I'm glad that's gone. And just organising a lot of stuff. In the last hour, I was like, Azure went down. Legitimately, we lost our entire test environment, which was a hoot. Not Azure in total went down. Significant portions of it went down there that we were using. So I was like, right, fuck it. I'm going to pick up this thing that's at the back of the list, because I know I can do these 2 tasks, which make up 80% of the work for these 2 things. I know I can do that in about 2 hours. I know it will take someone else a day. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it, boys. But I'm on call this week for like pager duty issues. So it means I've got to work stupid hours. I like working early, finish early, but I've got to, like, in the middle. It's a pain in the ass. So it's going to be a weird week. Otherwise, we went shopping like normal. I've been trying to find, I've downloaded a load of book samples to read. I am slowly but surely getting on the grind. That's what I'm doing. Tomorrow I'm going to listen to a webinar thing. Like I said, I've got to-do lists that I'm chipping through. I'm just going to build myself up. Productivity is the key. I got the key. But yeah, that's all I can say. So, yeah. But also in some sad news, I've decommissioned, i.e. turned off, a couple of the Azure resources I was using for AdSpider. Sad times. Annoyingly, the 2 most expensive things are still there, one of which is data storage, and the other is Azure Container Instances Registry, sorry. Both of which are the 2 most expensive. One of which I could burn to the ground if I wanted to. Probably should. It's only like €10 a month. It's costing me that one, but I probably should just burn it down. Laura went back into the office today, and it's basically there's 2 of us. Well, no. So last night she decided, before, basically as she was going to bed, she was going to cycle into work tomorrow. And normally whenever she cycles into work, like the day before, I prep her bike, so I like make sure the brakes are okay, oil the chain, that kind of shit. Nothing like crazy. So she decided it late last night. Obviously the bike's not prepped. She's not ready. Then this morning she's like in a mad rush, like the tyres needed pumping up. She couldn't find stuff. Turned out that like the last time she'd ridden it, it must have rained, because like her gloves had gone mouldy, and like bits of a bag that she used has gone like a bit mouldy in there, but nothing else in there is mouldy, so it's not the cupboard or anything. And it's like bizarrely like a makeup bag in a bag, which is like next to the gloves that she'd have thrown in there, or something like that. It's weird. But yeah, so it was quite a stressful leave, especially if the cat wants to really go outside, and he's really sad that Laura's outside and he's just meowing. But now he has returned to his usual position of just chilling on this chair. Otherwise, today at work, there's 2 of us, basically, that are in all the time. The team lead is, like, potentially off ill with his son. So, like, he's, like, sometimes around, sometimes not, you know what I mean? But I think he's off today. He's not said anything today. He said something yesterday. And then like the other guy is doing that, basically we can't bank on him because he's doing this, whatever it is, but he's working with people in America, so it's really weird. I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest. It seems a bit odd. But yeah, so it's basically just me and this other guy. I'm just like running the show, effectively. Spinning a lot of plates. Yesterday I started that thing that I knew I could finish within an hour. I've basically finished it. There's a question I have around how we're going to generate a certain ID, because we don't have an ID. So as soon as I've got that answered, like I've got all the tests are written, they're all failing. TDD, bang, beautiful. So yeah, it's great fun. And then we're just gonna roll through. Like I say, I've got, annoyingly, I really want to finish this bit, but we have like other bugs and stuff to do. So I have to focus on them for a little bit, unfortunately. But cup of tea time. Like I say, huge as your outages yesterday, and we need to like nurse the environments back into working order. It's mostly all right. It's just one thing that seems to be down in every environment. Thankfully, that thing's not ours. Woo! How you doing? You doing okay, Monty Moo? It's also going to be really warm today. So, are you okay? Oh, what is this camera? Look at that claw. Isn't it gross? Also, take your claw out of my fucking chairs, you little bitch. His little chin. We're doing it. Monty, we're doing our best to... Just want to play, don't you? Just want to play. Just want to play. Just want to play. When he like plays, he like bats with his hands, but then his teeth do not bat. He doesn't gum you. But like he'll play with your little, he'll only like put his claws out for a little bit. Bless him. He's like, leave me alone. I was asleep fine until you came here, abusing me for likes. Look at this fool. What he's done. Wait, you just shouldn't be paying attention to me. You should be paying attention to how to get your claw out of this bag. Oh, Monty. Go on, buddy, you can do it. There you go. Pull. Just retract your claw. He hasn't quite figured out that he can retract his claw. Pull it back in, Monty. I'm trying to help, and he's just more interested in the fact that the bag's moving now. Oh, God damn it. You're a pain in the ass. I swear, there's a DPD local van that I swear has driven down this road about 10 times today. At the very least, it's not coming here. We're not having a good time today. That Azure issue yesterday has knocked a couple of things in our environments. I've got stuff to do, but we're kind of, our hands are a bit tired. We're waiting for the infrastructure team, which is obviously fucked right now. But we've got to wait for them to, well, that box doesn't look like it's in the right shape. Unfortunate. But yeah, it doesn't look like they'll be able to respond anytime soon. So it's time to chill out. It's time to have some lunch, and then I can carry on with some mapping, which I want to do myself, but I'm trying to leave it open to everyone else. But it's also the lowest priority thing, so I want to do it. But you see, everyone else just picks up whatever the fuck they want. So why don't I? Why shouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? It's in the sprint, so it's a commitment. Monty's changed chairs. It's on this one now. So I mean, I'm just gonna do it. Lol. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. I'm not sure how to get back in. Fuck. After work, I did listened to a seminar thing about like how to pitch to VCs and what like VCs are looking for and how VC funds work, which is actually kind of interesting. It's more interesting than I thought it would be. I've been to things like that before where it's a bit like ho hum. This was quite interesting. And it's interesting that when I'd obviously stopped doing what I was doing, I was like, next thing I'm going to do it so that I can build it slowly and like get something out the door and do it that way. And I'm leaning towards something that's definitely not that. Something that's quite extravagant and a little bit too big to even attempt without VC money. It's interesting. So anyway, like I say, I'm toying with ideas and stuff. Also this evening I fixed a problem that I've been struggling with. There was a compound of problems, but the main problem was that MongoDB doesn't store date times to the level of precision that C# generates them at. And that was fucking me up big time. And I didn't spot it because I'm base 64 encoding it. So it's really difficult to spot. But I spotted it now, solved the problem. and now all I need to do is tidy that up, and I've finally finished the boy, you know, the boy. I'm excited about that. So I can now merge that in, and that's all sorted, and then I can move on with my life. Happy days. Fucking things take me so long. Yeah. Another day, boys. Relatively quiet day. It's one of those days where I had to just continually deploy things into environment to try and figure out why I was getting schema validation issues while talking to this third-party service that we can't really rep without doing these deployments. I feel like we've got a weird quirk in our deployments as well, where I swear it's deploying old code sometimes. Like, and I need to get to the bottom of that. It's that the way that we do tagging of the builds and then identify what kind of build it is we want to release. I think that there's some kind of collision going on where sometimes it defaults to just master if it can't find anything, but it doesn't warn you that it's done that. Because there's times where I've made changes which should have had like something should have happened and it didn't. But anyway, I think I've got to the bottom of it. Basically, we had this thing where this third-party service doesn't accept dates in a certain format. And the integration tests that we were doing were basically cheating the dates for the other set of events. And I wasn't cheating the dates for these events. And now, because I spotted that, I've made it so that the app itself is sorting the event date format out rather than relying on a certain format of date being supplied to it in the first place. So that's all good, but it took a long time to find that thing out, basically. Yeah, that's about it, to be honest with you. Otherwise, I finished the PR and stuff for my piece of work that I'm doing that took me freaking ages to do with articles behind a CDN on that project that I was playing with. So yeah, I've got some comments I need to address on it when I code review my own shit, and then I need to figure out like how I'm going to organise what I'm doing on that. Because I still want to do it, but obviously I don't spend as much time on it as I planned to. But now I've got over the hurdle of what the hurdle I had yesterday. Hopefully I can do it again properly, a little bit more in anger now. Just gotta get more organised, you know, but I'm feeling more organised, so that's good. Anyway. Boys and girls, we're having a flyer today. Laura's in the office again. I'm chilling at home, working away, you know the drill. I've basically finished the sprint at this point, I don't need it, that's fine. Happy days. Boy, they're like, so I finished off a bug fix, pushed that all the way to prod, replayed some dead letter messages. I fixed the issues with the other thing I was working with. That is now ready to go into the staging environment. We needed that in on Monday, so obviously it could go in today if people would do my code review. But otherwise, it's got to go in on. It'll go in tomorrow, but I'm not in tomorrow, so I've got the day off, boy. Which I'm super happy about because we've already run out of work. So hopefully tomorrow they bring in some more tickets to work on, so that we've got something to do on Monday and Tuesday. But potentially some bugs could come out of the tickets I've just done, because it's like the first time we've done it, so it needs to go through UAT. And last time we did that, like some of the assumptions that they made about where things were coming from wasn't right. So there might be some like quick fixes to push through, but otherwise we had some refinement today, and I'm leading the design for the next little bit of work. Because we were talking about how to start it, and they were like, oh, we need to figure this out first. And I'm like, I think we could do this first. Is that the cat? Is that the cat or the kettle? Either way, it better not be either of them.
Hey, Clory, stop this. What are you doing? Why do you do this? No need for it, is there? There is no need for that. Nope. He's just been sleeping downstairs today. Yeah, we're talking about like how we're going to start doing this thing where we're moving away from one way of doing it, because we needed to rush to get to like a deadline. So we've like taken some technical debt, and we need to move away from this other service basically that's doing half the work for us and pull that data in. Hey, quit it! Look at this little boy, man. My God. And he's so cute when he's not tearing the shit out of my fucking expensive chairs, you little bitch. Yeah, so we need to figure out how, like, what database
to use the projections data, and I'm like, I don't understand why. Like, obviously the best data for this, we've all agreed, is NoSQL. So let's just do NoSQL. I don't know what, like we've already established that the cost difference between NoSQL and SQL is not significant. So let's just stick with it, you know? Let's fucking YOLO it in, boys. By the way, otherwise, what's going on with our little lives? That's about it, to be honest. Oh yeah. So as we're talking about that, I'm like, one way we could start is by doing this, and like we're kind of half replicate something that I've done a very, very long time ago, where you effectively have a shadow deployment of the thing turned off in prod, but like turned off so that it's constantly running, and then you're able to get metrics of like how close you are to the existing implementation until it hits like 100% all the time, basically. And then, Monty, you better quit it, boy. You better quit it. When are you going to come and cuddle me anyway? You've been downstairs all day. You wait until it gets as hot as it could possibly get, like now. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to go upstairs with Jamie so we can't have the window open to keep himself cool. I know you're good. Yes, I'm really glad that they understood where I was coming from. And it means that we can start chipping away at this big technical debt thing. It's one of those things where we have potential to just spend forever trying to figure out how to do it. But if we go this way, then we can basically start straight away while we're doing some of those discussions that we need to do. And then we can, we kind of get the ball rolling. The thing with technical debt stuff, especially like big technical debt changes, is the business often gets bored of waiting for them. Like they're not really getting much out of it at the end, except a minor cost saving as we can turn off a microservice. But like, if you are able to like kind of constantly show this kind of feedback and like how far we're getting with it and deliver things, as soon as it's started, it's a lot harder to just drop it. You know what I mean? I know. But yeah, I'm keen now for a cup of tea. I haven't even started making it yet. But yeah, I believe now I've like completely run out of work to do. So having a late cup of tea, because I normally have tea at 3, but it's not, 24. And yeah, tomorrow, what is he doing? I just heard a thud. I don't know if you heard that thud. And then I just heard, meow. Why are you in here? Oh, he's pulled my bloody bin over. Fucking hell, I just brought this into here thinking, oh, I'll bring this back in here. He hasn't gone for it. My window's closed, isn't it? Yeah. This bin, Monty, is no use to me in here, is it? No use to me there. It's one of the only places you can't bloody reach. What an absolute kick. He's moved upstairs for his afternoon cuddle. Right. Come on, can I sit down, please? Can I sit down? Monty, don't bite me. You know that doesn't work. Oh my gosh, I'm going to drop you. Right, there you go. There you go. Is that better? Oh, the squeaky little boot. There we go. Happy days. Good boy. Good boy. And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I had quite a fun day. I've sorted out, I played a bit of Formula 1 this morning and this evening. And I have finally merged that thing and like tidied everything up. I had a small issue with integration tests running in Docker, but figured it out. The cat's coming. Close that door so I can vlog. The cat's coming. But it's time to end this video. It's a very long video. And yeah, I'm not at work tomorrow. So I've got the day off because I've built up some time in lieu. So look forward to that. Don't know how I'm going to spend my day, but I need to. Well, I'm thinking about getting my hair cut. Lockdown has really messed with my perception of how long hair is, but I feel like this is the length that I used to get it cut at. Don't know. I can still style it. That's the bit that throws me. That's the bit that's confusing me. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to get my hair cut. I'll go to the post office. Other crazy shit. Might play some Satisfactory. My little man was just asleep upstairs on my kitchen chair, on my office chair, until he heard that door close and he was like, oh, what's going on? Anyway, go to bed. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later.